Okay, boys and girls, here we are, egg number 5. And of course, we need a joke before we can open up the egg. So, Carly, what's the joke for egg number 5?
Why couldn't the Easter Bunny watch his favorite TV show?
You know, boys and girls, do you have any ideas? I don't have any ideas. Tell us, Car.
Because his TV was scrambled.
Scrambled. Oh, scrambled eggs. Okay. I get it.
Number 5.
Egg number 5.
It is a whip.
Alright, so we got. Ouch. Alright, so we got like a little piece of leather signifying a whip. And what's the verse, Car?
It says John 18:1. Wait.
John 18:1. Just one verse?
Yeah, is that in 18?
No, it must be 19:1.
19:1.
Yeah. Okay, we got a quick one here. So then Pilate took Jesus and scourged him. Alright, so we know that Judas had Jesus arrested, right? Judas betrayed Jesus. He was arrested. And so he kind of went through some trials and different courts. And of course, Jesus was perfect. He never did anything wrong. Of course, nobody had anything against him. So they had to either make something up or. So Pilate really didn't want to crucify Jesus because he knew Jesus was innocent. But he didn't like all the Jews pitching a fit either and raising trouble and giving him headaches. So he thought maybe if I just whip Jesus, and then that'll satisfy the Jews. But so Pilate took Jesus and scourged him. Now, what did a Roman whip look like? Well, I have a picture of what it might have looked like here in this book. See, it wasn't just what we think of as a bullwhip with just a handle and one strap. So you can see the handle there, and then throughout the cord they would kind of weigh it down a little bit with rocks and things. So when they'd whip, it would, obviously bruise the back too. But also they would have tied in here too, or sharp pieces of either rock or bone or something, so that when they had whipped, not only would it bruise from the beating, but then the sharp pieces would just shred the flesh. So Jesus often, well, I'm not sure how many times exactly he got whipped, but yeah, it was at least probably 39. Usually the law was about 40, but sometimes the Romans, depending on the mood that the person given the beatings was in, if they were really mean and nasty, they would keep going till the person died. But so Jesus was whipped. So they hit him from the top of the back all the way down, probably maybe down to his knee. So the whole back side of him was just shredded. All right, so I got a book here, The Case for Easter by Lee Strobel, and here's what a doctor was saying. Roman floggings were known to be terribly brutal. They consisted of 39 lashes, but frequently were a lot more than that, depending on the move of the soldier applying the blows. Okay, I mentioned that already. The soldier would use a whip of braided leather with metal balls woven into them. Again, the balls would cause deep bruises, and then whip had pieces of sharp bone as well, which would cut the flesh severely. So the flesh would be completely shredded, as I mentioned, and then so they could see like the muscles underneath. You could see maybe other parts of the body, maybe your spine, whatever the bone that's back there would be visible. So a lot of people would die even before they'd be crucified. But then this obviously was terribly painful, and he would go into a type of shock. So this thing does, when he Jesus was probably experiencing, it's called hypovolemic shock. So first the heart races to try to pump blood that isn't there, because remember his back's been shredded open, all right, his body, he's lost a lot of blood by this point. Then the blood pressure drops, causing fainting or collapse. So we understand that because a lot of times the person who's being crucified will be forced to carry like the cross piece that their hands would be nailed to. They're forced to carry that up the road there, and of course Jesus was too weak to even do that, so they had to bring somebody else in to carry it for him. So, and then he becomes very thirsty as well, because the body is trying to replace the lost fluids there, and then the kidneys start to shut down too, cease to function. So yeah, Jesus was very weak, in a very weakened state too, before he even got to the cross. Alright, so that is the whip. So yeah, that does not sound like fun at all, right, boys and girls? That had been terribly painful, and I can't imagine what that must have felt like. So that is number 5.